To clamp a chef knife, this is a 9-inch chef knife. Obviously the middle is probably not the best way to do it. You could, but you can spread them out a little, spread the clamps out a little bit more. So for clamping, move the clamps a little bit. So again, loosen up the screws so that they're just loose and not coming apart, but just so that there's a little bit of play in the clamps. Loosen up the dumbbells, spread it out. I'm gonna go about halfway between. That's a good distance. Pop the knife in. Okay, there's lines on the clamps. The camera should be picking up. And these are just 5mm spots. So 5mm increments. So try to get at least 5mm on there, but you can get 10 or 15 on this knife. There's plenty of meat. So I'm gonna go with the 10. I'm gonna go the second line and tighten down. All right, just gonna go till it's snug. The biggest thing when you're clamping on the jigs is not to go overboard. You don't need to wrench it. If you start hearing clicking, that's enough. It's more than enough. Right there's enough. So I'm really not getting anything. It's locked in. If you start going overboard, you hear that noise, it's too far. Okay, so back it up a little bit. That's not good. So you don't want to wrench it down. It's just got to get snug and everything's tight, and then you're clamped. Okay, to unclamp, obviously, just undo. Okay. Now here we're going to clamp a pocket knife. So obviously we've got a little too much space right now on the clamps, so we're going to have to move them back. So same process as we were doing to loosen them here a little bit first. Make sure that there's just no tension on the clamp. Loosen up the dumbbell, put it back towards the middle. You want to have as much space as possible between the two. Sometimes, of course, they have to be right on top of each other, but if you can spread them out, you get a better holding capacity. So in this knife, because of the design, we've got a flat here, and then we've got the bevel here, the grind is on there. So we're going to kind of just do both, because we can do the flat and we can do the grind as well. So by spreading them out a little bit more, actually I can go a little bit further. Just a little more, and get that good grip. I can also get a lot of this area here in the cutout, and then more on the spine there. So I can actually spread this out a little bit more here. So it's really up to you how you want to clamp them. Again, the further apart they are, the better leverage you have on everything. So again, I'm going at the 5mm mark on that line. You can see there's a line right here. Going at the 5mm mark. Again, just till it's snug. Again, you heard that noise too much or enough in here. Okay, we're in. So it's tight, ready to go. And we can start sharpening that. When taking out the knife, don't forget to always hold the handle. And there you go. This is a little too tight. Yep. Okay. Loosen it up. Make sure you don't drop the knife as you're doing letting go. So. All right, on to the next knife. Okay, here we're gonna clamp a fixed blade, a larger fixed blade. So more tactical style, thicker. So again, we're gonna loosen up. So again, here is actually not a bad place where we left off. It's pretty good. We've got a nice flat area here that we can clamp to. Don't really want to get on this like reverse swedge here. So we want to get on a flat area where possible. That's always better. So I'm gonna. Because this is a longer knife, I want to open this up just a little bit. So let's do that. Again, make sure that these are a little bit, again, just loose, not so they're coming off. Unscrew, open it up just a little bit. So more like where the chef knife goes. Let's see how that does here. All right, so almost there, good. Loosen that up a little bit more. There we go. Right there. So here, I'm keeping the knife straight. Now you can clamp it differently for different purposes. But for straight up purposes, I'm coming in here and I'm at the probably 5, 10, 15 mark on this right side here. I'm at the 5mm mark over here. So about a 1/4 of an inch in, grabbing the flat. And about 15, almost 20 millimeters in, almost 3/4 of an inch, grabbing the flat back in the handle area. There you go, you're good. So to unclamp, same thing. Loosen that up. There you go. Do a big kukri. We'll clamp that. Before I even take it out of the sheath, I know I'm going to want to open this up quite a bit here. Let's take a look out of the sheath. So, got this big kook. We could put it where we're at. I would like a little more security. This is not going to flex at the tip. On a lot of other knives, you want more leverage at the tip because there's flex. But on this blade, it's pretty much, 5-6 mils, quarter inch or so across the board here. So we're not worried about flex. So I'm just more worried about now about balance. So I'm going to spread them out. Again, loosen them up so that they're just loose. Have some play. Spread it out mostly to the end here. And I'm going to actually come in a little closer because the handle comes into play on the weight. Otherwise, when you get really far out here, you have so much leverage that you can easily just knock this out because you have a lot of leverage. So what you want to do is kind of offset that leverage. So I'm going to kind of come in more to the handle here because the weight is here and it offsets the weight. So that'll make it a lot more balanced in terms of turning. So you do need to be careful when you're flipping up and down that you're not hitting anything or too low. So this is a long knife. So you want to make sure that if it's coming down, you're clearing. So this one does clear. So we're good there. So I like this, and yeah. So I'm in as far as I can go on the left side here. Again, just clamp the flat, just snug, and the heel here. There you go. That's in. And slowly rotate. Just be careful. You're not too far over here. Make sure nobody's sent to the side. So you've got a lot of space. So, and again, you can flip it up as well. So just be very careful when you're sharpening this one. Definitely want to hold the handle at all times to stop any leverage from coming out of its position, or just for safety's sake. So mounting it, again, just loosen it up. Hold the handle. Always hold the handle. There you go.